Hi and welcome. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 types of mind-body medicine that I recommend that you include in your healing plan, specifically your healing plan to help your body to protect you from high-risk HPV virus and prevent cancer caused by high-risk HPV virus strains. So I'm Dr. Donnie Wilson. I am a naturopathic doctor, clinical nutritionist, and midwife. I've been practicing for over 25 years, meaning I've been specializing in women's health and helping women to address abnormal pap smears, including high-risk HPV virus, help them to heal their cervix and get HPV to negative and keep it negative, which is unheard of in the standard of care. It's not even what I was taught when I went to naturopathic medical school at Bastyr University to get my doctorate degree and complete a residency. We were not even talking about the ability to prevent the virus from coming back again. And yet, in my naturopathic training and as a naturopathic doctor, my complete focus and the philosophy is to address the root causes of illness. No matter what health issue we're talking about, we always want to be thinking about what's at the root of the issue. If you think about it in an analogy of gardening, when you have weeds in your garden, if you just simply take the leaf off, or for example, take the dandelion flower off, the dandelion will regrow, right? The weed will come back again because we only just did a temporary quick fix. And that's often what happens in medicine, in healthcare, is we're going for the quick fix. We're going for, now, of course, when you're dealing with high-risk HPV, removing abnormal cells is important. If you, on your pap smear, on your colposcopy, if you have CIN2, CIN3, or carcinoma in situ, or adenocarcinoma, if there's cancer cells, we need to remove them because we don't want them to get worse. We don't want them to spread. It's important to remove the abnormal cells. However, we don't want to just stop there. And that's the issue. Is it in the standard of care? Of course, well-meaning, well-trained practitioners who are surgeons, that's their specialty. They can remove abnormal cells using surgical procedures, and we need that if you have abnormal cells. However, simply having a procedure or surgery to remove abnormal cells is not going to remove the virus. The virus is deeper in the system. And that's why a lot of people are told that you can't get rid of HPV. A lot of people are told once you have HPV, it's not going away. And yet research clearly shows that the human immune system can clear HPV, even though it's a DNA virus, even though there's 14 types of high-risk HPV that are associated with cancer, even though a lot of women struggle with this for years. It's still possible for the human immune system to clear HPV. So that's what I go with. As a naturopathic doctor, I stay with this information that it's possible for the human immune system to clear HPV virus. And then I take this philosophy from naturopathic medicine or functional medicine that says, let's get to the root of the issue. Let's ask the question, why? Why is your immune system not clearing HPV? If the human immune system has the ability to clear HPV, why is it not? Why is your body not clearing HPV? Why is it still there? Why is it able to cause abnormal cells when in 90% of people, we clear the virus and it doesn't cause abnormal cells? 90% of people. So that means it's possible for you too. And we just need to do our detective work to figure out why. What is it about your system that's depleted or imbalanced or disrupted? I talk about 8 susceptibilities, which are these 8 underlying root causes, including stress and trauma and the impact of stress and trauma on your stress response system, like cortisol and adrenaline. And we need to address them. And we can use nutrients and herbs to reoptimize cortisol and adrenaline. We need to be looking at nutrient deficiencies, the potential of leaky gut or unhealthy intestinal cells that are allowing inflammatory responses to your foods. We need to look at the microbiome, the gut microbiome, the vaginal microbiome. We need to be looking at hormones, all the hormones in your body, estrogen, progesterone, even testosterone, thyroid, insulin. Is there imbalances in your hormones to address? Because that's also influencing your ability to fend off HPV. Is there any kind of imbalance in your blood sugar levels? That's been known to increase risk with HPV. Is there a toxin exposure? A lot of times we're exposed to mold toxins or environmental toxins. And when we are, those toxins can leave us susceptible, lowering our immune system and making it harder for our bodies to protect us from all different infections, including high-risk HPV virus. There's also genetic variations such as MTHFR and methylation issues. If that's not addressed, that can make us susceptible. Also, we know that women who are exposed to abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse in childhood or adulthood are more susceptible. So we need to help them to recover from abuse as well. All of these factors can influence your ability to clear HPV and prevent cancer. And all of these factors can be addressed. And we can address them with a variety of natural approaches. That's the beauty of natural medicine and natural approaches or functional medicine, is that we can use natural approaches. Why not use substances from nature that can help you heal without causing damage or side effects or dependency or withdrawal symptoms? Why wouldn't we, if you have a nutrient deficiency, why wouldn't we provide those nutrients? If you have a disrupted microbiome or imbalanced hormones, why wouldn't we address those imbalances? It's going to help your whole health, not just the vaginal area, but your whole body. So we need to be looking at what's underlying, what's going on in your system that maybe you've been overlooking or ignoring. Usually when we think about it, we've been getting signals from our body all along we didn't realize. And now this HPV is actually the messenger showing up saying, I'm here because there's something that needs attention in your body. And having HPV and abnormal cells can be your moment to pivot, the moment to stand back and say, what's going on here? This is my body. This is my life. This is my experience. Why is this virus here? What can I do about it? And that's exactly what I help women to do one-on-one and in a group program. So I encourage you, first of all, to start thinking about what's the underlying cause and why is that virus there, and how can we get more information about your body to understand? How can we do testing, for example, blood work for nutrient deficiencies, or urine testing for hormone imbalances? There's so much testing we can do to figure out what is the underlying cause for your body, and then work with an expert like me to help you address whatever we discover so that you can, from there, heal your body, clear HPV, prevent it from coming back again. Because once you've addressed the root cause, your body's going to be able to protect you from HPV even if you're exposed again. Because again, your human body can clear HPV and protect you from HPV. It's well established in the research, and I've been seeing it in my practice for over 25 years, case after case of women clearing the virus, healing their cervix, and preventing it from coming back again, even when re-exposed. So one of the potential natural approaches to helping you to clear HPV is the mind-body connection. And I didn't always know that this was essential. However, through case after case of working with women and being a researcher and saying, hey, I want to try all these different things and figure out what works best. I look at the research, we try in clinical cases, and we figure out what's working best. And that includes some of the things that I've already mentioned, including diet changes to eliminate foods that are inflammatory, nutrients that can not only address deficiencies, but also support your immune system, probiotics to support your microbiome, both gut and vaginal probiotics, homeopathy to remind your immune system to protect you from HPV. There's so many natural substances we can use. And there's lifestyle changes, like we can make sure that you're getting enough sleep, that you're getting exercise, that you're getting what I refer to in the Master Stress Reset Your Health book as recovery activities. Recovery activities are activities that stimulate the anti-stress part of your nervous system. We have plenty of stress around. We don't have a deficiency of stress, do we? We tend to all have an overabundance of stress. And it doesn't help to ever just think, oh, wishful thinking, I'm going to try to have zero stress, or I give up because I can't have zero stress. We have to accept that we're going to have stress as humans. We're going to have stress. That's part of being human. Having a stress response system is a big part of being human. But the part that we're deficient is the anti-stress. And we need the anti-stress to counterbalance the stress. We need a balance. We need to balance it out. In fact, it would be better if we can even override and have more anti-stress than stress. So we have to start asking ourselves, where am I getting my anti-stress? And how can I get more anti-stress signals to my system? And when we talk about anti-stress, this leads into the conversation about the mind-body connection in 5 tools, 5 mind-body strategies, activities you can choose to help with building up your anti-stress and fending off HPV. So what do I mean by mind-body? Mind-body is really emphasizing that our mind is not separate from our body. In fact, to me, and when I write about it in the Master Stress Reset Your Health book, I say from the beginning of the book, I consider your mind and body completely connected and completely interacting with each other. They're not separate. They're the same. We tend to think we kind of live in our mind and then we wonder what our body's doing, or we even feel angry at our body or feel that our body has betrayed us by allowing HPV to show up. And so I want to just help you to point out that there's a lot of times this separation. Women oftentimes describe feeling separate from their body, angry at their body, and wishing they could get out of their body, right? And that is this separation of mind and body that really is an illusion we have created in our minds. So if we can stand back and realize the reality is our mind and body are communicating with each other constantly. And it's not just a top-down mechanism. We're very familiar with our mind, and we can use our mind to oftentimes try to control our body, right? We try to control our appetite or control our different aspects of our body, our digestion, for example. And yet, we also then can be quite aware that something that's going on in our body can affect our mind, right? If your heart's racing, then you can feel anxious. So there's a connection. And oftentimes it becomes a vicious cycle, a vicious loop, a circling round and round. We feel stressed in our mind, and it causes our stomach to be upset, and then our stomach is upset, and that signals back to our brain, and they just keep feeding off of each other. So we can look for these different signs that our mind and body are connected, and yet in science, it's very clear that the mind and body are connected, and it's very clear that we can use something called mindfulness therapies and medicines and techniques to send anti-stress signals to our body. It's also known that if we can put our attention in our body, such as with somatic therapy, as well as many other forms of therapy, that we put our attention in our body, that our body can have messages for us. Even just by putting your hand on your heart, you can signal oxytocin, which signals calmness to your nervous system. So there's a very well-known connection between our mind and body. It's just that we often didn't learn how to intentionally use this system. And that's where I want to give you these 5 tools today. That's the thing, is that I find that many times for women, the issue is that we're racing through our day, taking care of everybody else in our to-do list, right? We wake up and we're rushing to get our kids to school, to get to work, to take care of all the tasks on our to-do list, to take care of our spouse, to take care of our partner, to take care of our parents, our pets, everything. And yet we don't have time for ourselves. So many women say to me, oh my gosh, I barely have time to even take a shower or get something to eat. We're so much taught and programmed to be so busy and rewarded for being busy. We're rewarded for being workaholics. We're rewarded for being busy instead of being rewarded for taking care of ourselves. In fact, we're taught that taking care of ourselves is selfish. So I'm here to tell you that taking care of yourself is not selfish. Taking care of yourself is essential. Learning to prioritize yourself will take practice. It's going to mean you need to pull out your calendar and put yourself in for appointments with yourself. You're going to need, and I find sometimes it helps to sprinkle it in 5-minute increments, right? If you can do these 5 forms of mind body that I'm going to be showing you, you could do it for 5 minutes, multiple times a day, right? So it doesn't have to take up the whole day or throw off your routine. In fact, what we find is that when women implement 5 minutes of mind-body techniques twice or 3 times a day, you actually increase your productivity, increase your ability to complete your other tasks in a calm way, feeling good, and getting through the day in a healthier way, right? Because it's not about eliminating stress. It's about helping you to be resilient under stress. How can you take care of yourself even though you're under stress? And that's what we're missing. We're missing the how to take care of ourselves when we're under stress. And yes, we can use nutrients. Yes, we learn all kinds of different things. Diet, and I cover this in other videos. We can use all different supplements to help us to stay healthy under stress. And I would argue that we also need to be doing these 5 mind-body techniques or activities to help to build up our anti-stress, counteract the stress, and help your body heal. Have you been dealing with high-risk HPV virus and potentially abnormal cells on your pap smear result? I'm Dr. Donnie Wilson, naturopathic doctor and midwife, and I've been helping thousands of women over the past 24 years to help them clear the HPV virus to negative and prevent cervical cancer, and I would love to teach you as well. I invite you to join me at my next free 5-day online workshop. I'm going to be teaching you all about HPV. I'll teach you all about understanding your pap smear results, clearing HPV to negative, and help you to understand what's making you susceptible to this virus in the first place. Just click on the link down below, and it will guide you to join me at the very next workshop, where I'm going to be able to guide you to create your healing plan to get rid of HPV. I look forward to seeing you there in the workshop. So the first one is breath work. And the thing with breath work, I mean, obviously we're all breathing all the time, right? We have our autonomic nervous system breathing for us. We don't have to think about it. And yet a lot of times if you think, when you do put your attention on your breath, most of us figure out that you're breathing pretty shallow, right? We're kind of short breathing. And the thing is that when we intentionally take a deep breath, we signal to the vagus nerve, the longest nerve in the body that signals to the anti-stress nervous system, we signal calmness to the system, to the nervous system. So if you just right now close your eyes if you'd like, take a nice as deep breath as you feel comfortable with, and at least bring your attention to your breath for a minute or two, and just notice, what does it feel like to inhale? What does it feel like to exhale? What does that feel like in your body? What does that feel like to take a little bit deeper breath? Noticing your breath. Taking these breaths signals to your vagus nerve, activates your parasympathetic or anti-stress part of your nervous system, connecting your mind and your body. You're connecting your mind that's deciding to breathe with your lungs who are breathing, and you're connecting a circuit that then sends a signal of calmness out to your whole system. And when we're in a state of calm, our immune system works better, our digestion works better, our hormones work better, our nervous system works better. So we want more calmness, okay? So notice the breathing. And actually, this type of breathing that I'm just showing you is the beginning of the next, number 2, mind-body technique, which is mindfulness practices. There's several you can choose from. The first, I would say, is the beginning steps of biofeedback. Biofeedback is a term that refers to using mind-body medicine. We use breath, bringing your attention to your breath, then putting your hand on your heart, connecting with your heart, connecting with yourself, signaling oxytocin. Now you have oxytocin, which is the anti-stress hormone going for you, and you can connect with a sense of love and gratitude. This is the beginning of teaching you biofeedback, which you can learn and practice in a minute. You can then go on to practice guided imagery and other forms of mindfulness as well as meditation. A lot of times people think that meditation is simply sitting with your legs crossed, with your eyes closed, and not doing anything. And a lot of people then end up kind of giving up on meditation because they feel like, how am I going to do that? And my mind's racing. So what I encourage you to do is start with small steps. Start with simply breath and bringing your attention to your breath, bringing your attention to your heart, bringing your attention to the moment. Every time you have a thought, notice the thought and say, I'll come back to you, thought. No, it's not wrong to have thoughts because we have a human brain. It's always going to have thoughts. There's going to be part of you questioning, part of you noticing. You just notice all of that and come back to the moment, come back to your breath. That's the practice of mindfulness, is a practice of noticing your thoughts and bringing your attention back to the present moment where you're teaching your mind and your nervous system that you want to be the one deciding what you're paying attention to. So often we're paying attention to whatever's in front of us or whatever someone else says we're supposed to pay attention to, instead of choosing from within your own mind, what do I want to pay attention to in this moment? And it's the practice of where you want to put your attention that we call mindfulness. And from there, you can easily go into meditation, even a moving meditation. You can meditate while walking, while dancing. We can do meditation while doing Pilates, while doing the dishes for that matter. Meditation is simply the practice of being in the moment and allowing your brain waves to go to more calm brainwave states. In those calm brainwave states, we can do so much healing. And that's a whole nother conversation. But just allowing yourself, it's as simply an allowing. Because as soon as we try to force it or push it or do it perfectly, it's going to stop. It's not going to happen. It's going to happen when we allow and when we notice and we are present with the process. Then your body already knows how. You don't have to try. You don't have to do it perfectly. You simply practice noticing. So that's mind-body technique number 2, something just to practice. Mind-body technique number 3 is spending time in nature. Simply, even if you go outside for 5 minutes, you can walk your dog, you can just listen to the birds, watch the birds. Even if it's too cold to go outside or not safe for you to go outside, you can even just look out the window because you're looking at nature out your window, simply using our eyes to perceive nature. Even if it's looking at the plants in your home, even if it's on a screen, you're looking on your computer, on your phone at scenes of nature. That also, the human brain responds to nature, responds to the colors in nature, the symmetry in nature, the shapes in nature. The human nervous system has a built-in response to nature. So why not give your body and your brain the signals from nature intentionally? There's no cost. There's no side effect. There might be a desire for more. But that's a good thing, because that desire for more nature exposure is only going to help you heal, and only going to help your system reset. So mind body technique number 3 is time in nature, even in small increments, even little by little. Allow your body to notice nature, enjoy the moment. So now you can practice mindfulness while in nature, and you're going to be connecting in and supporting these mind body techniques that can help your system heal. Number 4 is music. Now, there's many different kinds of music, and we all respond to different types of music. Some of it is based on what you're familiar with culturally or what you enjoy. There's also specific healing music that has specific tones and patterns and different kinds of instruments in different songs that have been shown to be healing. They've been shown in research. Healing music has been well established in research all different times, even whether you're thinking of singing bowls or you're thinking of actual icaros. For example, in Peruvian ceremony, they use medicine music or icaros, which are healing songs, usually sung by a shaman. Many cultures have healing music, whether that's flutes or drums or singing or different tones, chimes, bells, you name it. They can be used in a beautiful sequence that have been well known to help create healing in our body, because it's your mind and your ears perceiving the music, feeling the vibration that comes with it, and inevitably we realize that as humans, we are energetic beings. We are energetic. There is energy going through every one of our cells. Our bodies function based on energetic flow through our nerves, our nervous system. It's all energy flowing. Energy flows through our heart. That's how our heart pumps. That's how our muscles move. Everything in our body is actually energetic. And sometimes we don't realize that, but we are very much energetic, and the music and vibration of music and sound is also going to be energetic and influence the energy in our bodies. And this has been well established as a way to help create healing through this exposure to healing sound, healing music. So if it's not something that you've noticed or thought about, I encourage you to try listening to some healing music, potentially even going to a sound bath or sound healing session, so that or even just putting it on YouTube or Spotify or your favorite place to listen to music. Search for healing music and find music that feels healing to you. You'll know when you hear it, because you're going to feel calm. You're going to feel that vagus nerve signaling and the calm part of your nervous system activating, and you're then going to feel things like more openness to emotions of love and gratitude and bliss and peace. And these are the emotions of healing that can be activated through music. Okay, the 5th mind-body technique that I encourage you to try is dancing. Now, dancing, we usually think of as with specific choreography, and if you have dance training, that could be absolutely something that helps you, and you likely know that already. And dancing has been shown to help all humans. So what I mean when I say dancing is any form of movement of your body that allows your body to stretch, to flow, to process, because now it's also allowing you to go from your brain, from your mind, into your body. This can happen also with yoga. There's a lot of research on both yoga and dance. I'm pointing out dance because I think a lot of times people are not so aware that dance can be so healing. There's something called conscious dance, and there's a specific type of conscious dance that I've studied called transcend dance, and it was developed by a friend of mine, Jennifer Jimenez. And this is a form of dance that's a free form. There's no specific choreography. It's meant to allow you to connect with your body, to process emotion, to flow with the music, and to allow yourself to process and let go of whatever you need to let go of, and to bring in what's going to serve you. Bring in the love and the healing and support that can help you heal. So dance and movement can be very healing. And if you'd like to learn more, I'll put links below too, because I have specific blogs and different videos on each of these topics. So this way, if you'd like to learn more and you'd like to try it out, I'll send you to more information so you can learn more, including transcendence and dancing and music and time in nature. And absolutely, if you're wanting to learn more, I encourage you to grab my book, The Master of Stress Reset Your Health book, which is available at Amazon, both in print and in online and in Audible. So you can, whichever way you prefer to read a book, this is an amazing way you can learn more about the stress response system, about mind-body medicine, and about these specific activities that I've just been talking about. And I'm hoping this is inspiring you, that you're taking notes, that you're saying, absolutely, these are things that you're going to try. Because I think you're going to be surprised when even if you're like, I don't know how I'm going to make time for this. Believe me, I felt that way too. Like, how am I going to have time? So I had to sit down with my calendar and make the time and go, I'm going to learn this. I'm going to practice this every day. And it's not, again, it's not about perfection or being hard on yourself. It's actually about being gentle with yourself, acceptance of your body, acceptance of your thoughts, acceptance of your emotions. And it's through that being present with ourselves that we develop self-love, self-acceptance. That also is extremely healing and very necessary when you've been dealing with high-risk HPV and risk of cancer, because women report feeling extremely hard on themselves. And we know from research that that's the case, that women have much higher levels of shame and anxiety when dealing with HPV. And we know from research that this mind-body medicine and help with recovery from stress and trauma needs to be part of the HPV healing protocol, because we're talking about a virus that can cause cancer, and we're talking about thousands of people in the United States dealing with cancer caused by HPV every year. And we're talking about a virus that can be stopped. We're talking about a cancer that can be prevented. And we're talking about ways to prevent the virus from causing cancer using mind-body techniques that, even though they may seem subtle and gentle, are actually quite powerful, which is what we need, because we're going up against a powerful virus. So we need some powerful techniques, and we need to be willing to do something different. If we do the same thing, we're going to have to accept the same results. So we're going to need to do something different. So I encourage you, even if you're like, okay, I've tried this before, I didn't figure it out, but today is a new day, you can try again today. And invite you to just start wherever you feel like you can start. Find some music you enjoy, get yourself outside in nature, start little by little, put one step in front of the next. It's not about climbing the mountain all in one day. It's about taking one little step at a time. And before you know it, you will have gotten to the top of the mountain and to the other side, where you're going to get your negative HPV, negative abnormal cells on your test result. And you're going to feel confident in your abilities to keep on going to have your body protect you from high-risk HPV and many other health issues. Thanks again so much for joining me here today. And if you are not already subscribed, I welcome you to subscribe to How Humans Heal. And if you would like more information, I welcome you to reach out. I'm happy to connect with you. My team is also happy to talk to you and help you understand how we can help you to protect yourself from high-risk HPV and to prevent cancer and to help you with any other health issues you might be dealing with as well. Thanks again. I look forward to connecting with you very soon.
Thanks for listening to How Humans Heal. If you liked this episode, leave a rating and a review. And for more resources, visit drdonnie.com.